My 5-year-old daughter walked up to a complete stranger in the grocery store and asked, "Mister, will you be my grandpa?" Mine went to heaven, and my daddy misses him so much that he cries when he looks at my pictures. I was in the cereal aisle, trying to find something cheap for breakfast when I heard Lily's voice from the next aisle over. My heart stopped. When I found her, she was standing next to this older gentleman, probably in his 70s, with kind eyes and a gentle smile. He was wearing a simple button-up shirt and holding a small basket with just a few items. The look on his face told me he understood exactly what Lily meant. He knelt down to her level and said softly, "Well, sweetheart, tell me about your grandpa." Lily started talking in that innocent way kids do. How my dad had died 6 months ago from cancer. How I'd been struggling as a single parent ever since Mom left when Lily was 2. How she'd seen me crying while looking through old photo albums. How she missed having a grandpa to read stories and play tea party. I started to apologize, but he waved me off gently. "I'm Frank," he said, extending his hand. "I lost my son 3 years ago. Car accident. He had a little girl about Lily's age." His voice cracked slightly. "I've missed being a grandpa more than you know." Lily grabbed his hand immediately. "Can you teach me to fish like my grandpa did?" Frank looked at both of us and smiled. "I think I'd like that very much." That's how Frank became Grandpa Frank. Every Saturday, he'd pick up Lily for their adventures. First, it was fishing at the local pond, then trips to the library for story time. Before long, he was coming to dinner twice a week, helping with homework, attending Lily's dance recitals. But Frank did more than just spend time with Lily. He started helping me too, teaching me how to fix things around the apartment my dad used to handle, showing me his late wife's recipes when I struggled with cooking, listening when I needed to talk about losing dad so young. 3 months into our friendship, Frank mentioned he'd been thinking about selling his house. It was too big, too empty, too full of memories. He'd been looking at senior living communities, but dreaded the idea. "I've got a big backyard going to waste," he said, "and a workshop your dad would have loved." That's when Lily piped up with another one of her innocent suggestions. "Grandpa Frank, why don't you live closer to us so you can tuck me in every night?" Frank's face lit up. 2 weeks later, he'd rented the house next door to our apartment complex. Suddenly, Lily had a grandpa again, and I had the father figure I'd lost. Frank had a purpose again, and we became the family he'd lost. The other tenants started calling him Grandpa Frank too. He'd help elderly Mrs. Chen with her groceries, teach teenager Marcus how to change oil, and always had candy for the neighborhood kids. He turned our whole apartment complex into a community. When Lily started kindergarten, Frank was there for her first day. When I got promoted at work 6 months later, Frank was the first person I called. When Lily lost her first tooth, Grandpa Frank made sure the tooth fairy left an extra special surprise. It's been 2 years now. Frank walks Lily to school every morning and picks her up every afternoon. They've become inseparable. Lily calls him Grandpa Frank, but to me, he's just dad.